Okay, we're going to have a look at free radical substitution. Now, free radical substitution is when you replace one of the hydrogen atoms of an alkane with a halogen. Okay, so if we take an example, if we look at, say, methane, which is CH4, and we're going to add to this chlorine, Cl2, and that is going to form chloromethane, CH3Cl, and it's going to release a molecule of hydrogen chloride. Now, this is the overall equation. So if they ask you in the exam for the overall equation, this is actually the overall equation. Now, this actually takes place in a number of steps, and I'm going to take you through these steps. The first step is initiation. So this is the starting. And initiation, you will get the chlorine molecule and it will be split into two chlorine free radicals. Now what actually happens here is if you take the chlorine to chlorine bond, one electron from the bond goes onto this chlorine atom, and the other electron from the bond goes onto the other chlorine atom. So what that actually forms is you form two chlorine free radicals. Now, a free radical is a species with an unpaired electron. Once you form these chlorine free radicals, they will react. And the next step is propagation. Propagation means to continue. So you will take the chlorine free radical and it will react with the methane. And it will literally remove a hydrogen from the methane. So you will form hydrogen chloride and you will form a methyl free radical. Now, this isn't particularly stable, so the methyl free radical will react further. And there is actually a mixture of chlorine gas in our mixture and chlorine free radicals. And so the methyl free radical will react with a chlorine gas. And so it will form the chloromethane, and it will release another chlorine free radical. Now the problem is that this can actually go back, and it can go back to here. So propagation means to continue. So once the second step is formed, this chlorine free radical here can actually go back and it can react with another methane. And that's what we mean by propagation. Now this will continue for a long period of time until you run out of reactants or a termination occurs. So I'll show you some termination reactions. So in termination, you could get, say, two chlorine free radicals come together. And that will form a stable chlorine molecule. Or you could get a methyl free radical and a chlorine free radical could come together to form chloromethane. Or you could get two methyl free radicals come together to form ethane. Okay, I'm going to take this further in another YouTube video, and I'm going to show you how we can further substitute the chloromethane. But this is the basics just to start you off with.